In October 1983, American warships patrolled off the coast of Grenada and US forces deployed by helicopter to thwart a communist takeover. A year after her own successful invasion, Britain's Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher visited the Falkland Islands. In Poland, Lech Wałęsa, Solidarity's leader, was released from detention. He went home to an ecstatic reception. While in the Lebanon, 241 US Marines died in a suicide bomb attack. "23 Cranley Gardens, Muswell Hill, in the suburbs of North London, is divided into flats. In February 1983, the lavatories wouldn't flush. A drains cleaner came to find out why. What Mike Catran found made him call his supervisor and say, 'I think there's human flesh in there.' But as he later reported, they had a shock when they went back the next day.
The mass had mysteriously disappeared from the manhole.
They called the police, who found a few traces. When these were checked by pathologists, it was confirmed. They were human. The man who lived upstairs was named Dennis Nilsen. A tenant told the police she had heard him going up and down the stairs during the night. When Nilsen came home from work, Detective Chief Inspector Peter Jay was waiting for him. Jay told him that human remains had been found. Nilsen put on a show of being surprised, but Jay told him to stop messing about. In the front room of Dennis Nilsen's top-floor flat, Jay asked him, "Where's the rest of the body?" After a few moments' hesitation, Nilsen replied, "In 2 plastic bags in the wardrobe next door." Jay went to check. What he found made him arrest Nilsen at once. In the car going to the police station, Jay asked, "Are we talking about 1 body or 2? Nilsen replied, 15 or 16. As they interviewed him over the next few days, police began to build up a picture of the man who casually claimed so many victims. Dennis Andrew Nilsen was born on the 23rd of November 1945 in the coastal town of Fraserburgh in Scotland. His father was a Norwegian soldier who came to Scotland after the German invasion of Norway. In 1942, he met a local girl, Betty White, outside a cafe and married her. It was not a happy marriage, and the couple divorced. Dennis rarely saw his father, who was little more to him than a name on his birth certificate. He lived with his mother's parents. They were very strict and instilled a sense of guilt in him for any pleasurable feelings. His fascination with death began at the age of 6, when he was shown his grandfather's dead body. Love and death seemed to have merged in his mind. At school, Nilsen admitted to being confused by the feeling of attraction he got for other boys, and this added to his feelings of being different. He left school as soon as he could. In 1961, he joined the army as a boy soldier, joining the catering corps in 1964. Still obsessed with death, he told of how he photographed a friend lying in a field as if killed in battle. He learned butchery and was soon an expert carver. With the catering corps, he travelled the world. First to West Germany. In 1967, he was sent to Aden, cooking for the men who guarded a prison. After that, he was sent to the Gulf, volunteering for the Trucial Oman Scouts, an Arab regiment led by British officers. Then he went to Cyprus with the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, and he stayed with the Argylls when they moved to Ballater, near Balmoral in 1970, where he cooked for the Queen's Guard. But when Nilsen was sent to Northern Ireland, he became disillusioned with the army and decided to leave. Ex-Corporal Nilsen got a job as a security guard. In 1972, he was so hard up that he sold his General Service Medal for £8. He joined the Metropolitan Police Force, but said later that he was unhappy at arresting homosexuals. A year later, in 1973, he resigned from the police and joined the Department of Employment in March of 1974. Secretly, at home, he was becoming ever more fascinated with necrophilia. He put on elaborate death makeup to watch himself in the mirror. But at work, at a job centre, he was known to be conscientious and prepared to work long hours. He won promotion to executive officer despite being a keen trade unionist. He frequently volunteered to join other workers' picket lines. Off duty, he walked his dog in Highgate Cemetery, where he indulged his obsessions for death and his hero, Karl Marx. In 1975, he met a 20-year-old named David Galichan, whom he nicknamed Twinkle. They moved together to a flat in Melrose Avenue, Cricklewood. After 2 years, Galichan left. Feeling deserted and lonely, Nilsen's fascination with death intensified, and he admitted that some of the young men he started picking up never left the flat in Cricklewood. When he moved to Muswell Hill at the beginning of 1982, Nilsen went on killing, until his almost deliberate lack of caution allowed him to be arrested. Then he tried to be helpful to the police, but he couldn't remember all his murders. Nilsen thought the first one had been on the 30th of December 1978. He had woken up with an Irish teenager he had brought home to Melrose Avenue. He didn't want him to leave, so he strangled him. Nilsen couldn't recollect all the young men he had found in London pubs where homosexuals gather, but he had no trouble in picking up drifters who were looking for company, or for money, or just for a bed for the night. His first anonymous victim set the pattern. Nilsen strangled him with a tie. Then he drowned him in a bucket of water. He cleaned the body, dressed it in fresh underpants, and lay in bed with it. A week later, he put it under the floorboards.